Let's get into it. Beverage of choice. Got that Perrier Forever Lime and my crazy straw. Let's get into it, y'all. This is the Legacy Lounge, episode 2. And also, if you can check out our first episode of the Legacy Lounge, we will be super, super appreciative of you to do that. Get into it. Let me go ahead and share this out myself. Make sure. Let's get it. Tap it up, clap it up, y'all. Welcome, 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 welcome to the Legacy Lounge, episode numero dos, okay? Let's get into it. It's okay, baby. It's all right. You didn't get to have no taps over the weekend, so you good. Let's get back into it and get those taps started. Hey, Pappin' in the building. Speaking of Pappin', make sure you catch our very first episode of the Legacy Lounge on the YT. Y'all know what the YT is. Don't get that confused with the other word. You know what it is. And you can check that phenomenal interview out. It's 2 hours, okay? But it's worth the ride. And you'll get to know a lot of things about your boy Pappin that you didn't know. As I always got to reference the fact that I didn't know Pappin wanted to be in the medical field before he was the Pappington McGee. I didn't know that. So for more things that you probably didn't know about him, make sure that you go to our link tree, which is on our main page, and go in there and just click it, YT, and it will take you there, along with a couple episodes of Soliloquy and Syllables and some other little clips. Again, we try to post the more original content, on there, because we want to make sure that we're giving you the best bang for your buck, if you can say it like that. So y'all, once again, we're just rocking out to some instrumentals over here. I got to keep it 90s feeling, even though this is not a 90s style song. I think it would do well back then. Y'all, this happens to be Treat Me Like Somebody. A lot of y'all have sung that on Verse and Vision Live. But let me just tell you a little bit about Verse and Vision Live before we get started. This is a talent platform, a virtual kickback, if you would. There are a myriad of shows over here, such as The Gig, hosted by Pappin. Also, Just Vibin' by JV. And honey, where do I start with the shows that I just keep bringing to y'all? I don't know, but this is the newest one. And it is called The Legacy Lounge. Not to be confused with The Nightcap, The Crescendo Club, Arian Anthem, The Vocal Eclipse, Mic Drop Mania, and so on and so on. And I could keep going on, but I'm not. There are so many shows here. But this one specifically, besides Conversation XYZ and Pat versus Cat, which is coming this week. So Pat, I got to get at you after this interview. This is interview based, meaning I'm going to get all up in your business. And the questions are carefully crafted to give you more of an inside depth look of the person that I have to the left or to the right, depending on how I have the camera set up. But tonight, y'all know him, you love him. It's Kspazz, host of a lot of things over here. But he going to tell you about that when I let him know to tell you about that. But it's no secret. He took over Soliloquy and Syllables, which is a poetry slam style show. Also, Loop and Language will be coming around that bend. And of course, he's going to let you know about the shows that are already in action. And make sure y'all are paying attention to Nisha in the chat. She's telling y'all go ahead to that showcase and get into it with our candle merch. With that being said, I already let y'all know now, my candle is falsetto and fluff. It has notes of marshmallow, caramel, and baby powder. Also, Kspazz has a candle, and his is called Pen and Prelude. Make sure that you hit up that TikTok shop for it while it is still available, y'all, because I already told you shortly I will be moving it off of the TikTok shop and it's going into our .com, because, baby, it just makes sense to do it like that. Also, the candle of the night, which would be Berry Ripe Rhythm. That is in your TikTok shop. I'm going to light it a little later, because I fear if I do it right now, I might want a smoothie, huh? And I don't want to be in the background blending strawberries and shenanigans, because I'm trying to be focused. So y'all, once again, this is the Legacy Lounge. Thank you so very much for the taps, the claps, the shares, the heart meets, Indeed, Nisha gonna make sure she keep y'all up to it in the chat, letting y'all know the different things. Also, use those emojis in the bottom. Definitely, Kspazz has 3 in there. I just added a yep. You know how I say shenanigans and Pappin says shamages and JB's like sheesh. Kspazz is yep. And it's going to make sense. So make sure you use that in the chat, showing your love. Of course, baby. A candle ain't a candle unless we talk about Signature Air, which is Pappin's candle. Catch those flights. Less of those feelings, okay? It is an aromatherapy blend, and it's gonna make you feel highbrow, and we love that. We love that. It is a blend of botanicals, Florida water, and essentials. Berry melodic mood. You know Nisha gonna talk about berry melodic mood. She don't do nothing else, but we love that for her. If you love strawberry, blueberry fruit cocktail, all of the fruit, you gonna love that. Also, peach perfect harmony, perfect blend of peach bellini, agave, and all the sweet smelling fruit. We love that. Y'all, there's so many more. But like I said, as I'm switching instrumentals just to give y'all a little vibe, I have to do my monologue to start this off, and then we're going to get straight into it. All right. Again, beverage of the evening for me. I got that Perrier Forever Lime. Ty sings in the building of those UGVs. I'm going to tell you, he been at both of our Legacy Lounge episodes. Listen, Ty, you know you're loved and you're super appreciated over here. And it's been a little hot minute since we've seen y'all UGVs, but it's always love every time we see y'all in the building. So again, when y'all see this blue background, that means I'm home, okay? Right. Again, thank y'all for everybody who showed up, who reposted. Love that for us. All right, y'all. Let me turn this music down a little bit and give y'all my 1-2, and then we're going to get straight into the video. Hey, thank you so very much, Marvin. Oh, it's been such a long time since I've seen Marvin. All love to y'all. Now, please keep in mind, this is not the talent-based show where we are taking any type of entertainment, y'all. This right here interview is the entertainment. But I do thank y'all if I do see the requests come up, but we're just not taking them tonight, okay? So again, y'all, welcome, welcome, welcome. This is the Legacy Lounge, a space created for real conversation, real stories, and real connection. This is not, I repeat, this isn't your typical run-of-the-mill interview. You will not hear recycled questions, baby. I don't do that over here. Or a surface level conversation here. Every episode is curated, experienced, intentionally designed around the person sitting right there, okay, in this seat. That means all of the questions are thoughtful, they're personal, they're layered, and they're meant to spark reflection, not just responses. We don't want that. The Legacy Lounge is about, of course, a legacy, purpose and growth, healing and evolution. The journeys that shape who we are, and the stories that deserve to be told with care and respect. This is a moment, y'all. One that cannot be duplicated, because every guest, every story, and every conversation is uniquely their own. So tonight, we're not just talking, we're unpacking, we are reflecting, and we're honoring the journey. Once again, welcome to the Legacy Lounge. Y'all continue to tap it up, clap it out, share it out, repost it, because I promise you it's going to be a vibe. Let me turn this music right on down. What's going on, Kspazz, the man, the myth, the legend, the newest host here to VVL, which is Verse and Vision Live. If you did not know, y'all, this is the Legacy Lounge. He vibing, he grooving, he doing all the things, y'all. 9 Eastern, 8 Central, wherever you are, just do the math so you know where we at, okay? Also, it's a vibe. It is a pleasure for you to say, yes, I will do episode 2 of the Legacy Lounge, because you didn't have to. It's a choice. It ain't really a choice. I was going to make y'all do it. But what better way to kick off the second official episode than to get Kspazz in the building? Now, I could put all the dip on your chip, but I want you to do that and let these people know who you are and what you do here. I'm going to need that from you. I'm going to need that from your life. And we're going to make sure that we get these volume correct so we can hear every single thing that you're saying. Y'all let me know in the chat. Just give me a simple thumbs up if you can hear me clearly. If you can hear me clearly, let me get a thumbs up, because I want to make sure y'all get all of this. Okay? Yes, Nisha says yes. We love that. Okay, now when Kspazz comes on the screen, Kspazz, let me get a 1-2 from you to make sure that people can hear you. You got to unmute yourself, and then they'll be able to hear.
Yeah, man, this game ain't gonna out, man. You know, this out for young folk, you know.
You know what? I can't deal with. I can't deal with him right now already. You are. He said it's for the young folk. That's all right too. That is absolutely all right. So, Kspazz, once again, you are, the newest host to this here foundation. We went from 3 the hard way to 4 the
Roller
culture, but we
coaster.
gonna get into all of that. But Kspazz, just basically give them this little 1-2 little introduction yourself, because who's gonna do it better than you? Let them know about you.
Oh well, I'm Spazz. I actually dropped the K. Um, Initially I was Kspazz. My actual name starts with a K. That's where the K came from. But then I just like, you know what? Spaz roll off the tongue a little bit easier. Um, so I went from Kspazz to now I'm just Spaz. Cause sometimes I might just spaz. I'm just telling y'all the truth, man. I might just spaz out. You know what I'm saying? Uh,
You make sure you don't do that on this episode of the Legacy Lounge, baby.
yeah. I
You
ain't
just make
gonna.
sure.
I'm a spaz. I'll spaz out in a positive way on this
Okay.
episode. You know what I'm saying? And on this platform, I'll do that positively. But I dropped the K and I just became spaz. It's easier for people to say. I actually like it, and that's what all my exes call me.
All right.
All right.
And I'm here for that too. Look here. So, well, then you gotta forgive me if during the interview I still say Kspazz, because
You
we're
good?
just trained to do that.
This is new.
So
This is new. Y'all heard it first here. This is new.
exclusive. You know
Yeah.
how we feel about it, because I'll be quick to be like, "K, Spazz." So you know what it is, because that's how we know you're over here anyway. But I
Yeah.
love that. So listen, I took my good time, okay,
Mhm.
and again, this interview you get here, you ain't gonna get an interview like this nowhere else, because it's not fluff. I'm not just gonna be like, "Hey, tell me your favorite color. What do you like to do on a Friday night?" Nope. That's too much fluff. My candles fall settle on fluff, but these interviews are not. So my questions are carefully curated for the experiences, and it's gonna get in your business. Not invasive per se, but just to give an overall feel of Kspazz, who is now Spazz, and where you at in life, in vision, and hosting, and all of that. So take a moment to reflect on each question. If you need me to reiterate any parts of it, I shall. And just be your most authentic raw self. And I mean, that's what makes you over here. And that's why that fits. So we have things broken down into categories. All right. And the first category we will be going into is origin and identity. And I love that already. We starting off strong. So also, Lo, if you're in the chat, if anybody has any questions, just hang on to those for me, and we will do that as well. But you know what? Nope, I'm gonna do it just like how I did with Pappin. Let me get to 3K before we even start this. We got to hit 3K. Now, I'm not moving with the first question until we get 3K. Collectively, we got enough folk in here at the moment to do that. So I'm not. Now, y'all, once again, I have to remind y'all, this is not the Crescendo Club. This is not the gig. This is not just Vibe. This is not SOS. This is the Legacy Lounge, the only interview-based show we have here. So we are not taking requests for any performances. I'm sorry. Don't mean I don't love you. But this is the main attraction right here. This is an interview-based show. So let me get 3K. Y'all do have time to do that. Thank you for the gifts. Y'all, I'm not even going to lie. I'm not even paying attention to the gifts up there. But I do thank you for that. I just love the taps. I'm going to be very neurotic about them taps, because again, if you don't know, taps do help us get into the algorithm, and the algorithm is just a crazy way to say viewership, because there's a lot of people just perusing and doom scrolling online, and they don't even know we're here. So help them stray away from the boring interviews and the just doom scrolling and the boredom and the recipes they're never going to cook and the cute little dog videos, real cute, but over here's where the substance is. So that's why we ask for you to tap that screen. Appreciate you. Now I will let you know. I tell you what you can do. Random thoughts with Eric G. Just hit me up directly in the chat and we can discuss what it is. As I always have said and will say throughout the interview, I do the reaching out to the interviewees to see if it is a fit, because most importantly, you got to have a story to tell. You got to have something going on, and it has to be dynamic, because a lot of times, different interviews, it's too much fluff, and I like to be gritty with it. But Eric, you are a friend to the show, and I already know that. And I'm pretty sure it'll be a fabulous interview, but we will speak behind the scenes. So you can hit me up here. You can hit me up cap_karaoke. It don't matter, baby. I'll check them all and we can discuss. Okay. And again, it is a curated experience and it's different for each and every host. Thank you so very much. And every guest. We love that. All right, Kspazz. Now we about to get into it because we have enough taps. Kspazz, have a seat, huh? Have a seat so we can get into it. Thank you so very much. Make sure that you are not muted because I can't see. Okay, so again, section 1 is identity and origin. Y'all tap it up. Okay, so Kspazz, let's get it. First question. Y'all have already let me know that you can hear both of us, so that's awesome. First question. If you weren't actively pursuing poetry and you never had the creative side unearthed, what do you think you'd be doing right now?
To give you my most honest answer, I do believe one thing that I'll be doing is trying to get back into school, because that's actually something that I'm in the process of as we speak. But to be honest with you, I'll probably be out trying to find me somewhere to hustle that's making good money.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you.
We're definitely keeping it honest, in the interview,
Yeah.
But if there's ever a question that might seem too much, hey, you ain't got to answer it. But, the questions are carefully curated for the best experience here. But I mean, that's your truth. That's your honesty. And that's what we love here. That education never declines. That's what Papin says. And it doesn't. We have to continue to elevate ourselves and just, school is always on the table. Mm-hmm. Honey, there's a myriad of ways. Kspazz, you cutting off already. Stay focused. Please stay focused. Stay focused, Kspazz.
I hope we get there. Let's get there.
Stay focused. Stay focused. All right. So you are from Chicago. Now, when you say that out loud, mm-hmm. What comes with that? And what did it really look like for you growing up there?
When I tell people I'm from Chicago, especially when I got on TikTok, one of the first things that people associate with Chicago is, you from 63rd? Shut the fuck up.
Ooh. Now, I'm not familiar with 63rd, so in my head.
It's actually frustrating, and I would love for people to I would love for people to stop letting that be the first thing people think about when they hear, are you from 63rd? Mm-hmm. Music, Chicago is definitely a hub for music, and we definitely have a lot of influence, but not everybody is from 63rd, you know what I'm saying? And mm-hmm. when people correlate 63rd with what they hear on the news, it makes it hard for people from Chicago to explain to people, like, Chicago is not just 63rd. It's not just what you hear on the news. Chicago is it's cold for sure. We ain't gonna lie about that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it get cold out here, but we are definitely much more than what people hear on the news, what they hear on the radios, and what they see and hear about us. You know what I'm saying? 63rd is not O Block. 63rd is a South City and street that runs east and west. It's just a specific area of that street that, you know what I'm saying, have two different sides that go north and south that differ from each other. You know what I'm saying? And so it's not hard to explain if you're from here, because if you're from here, you will know. But to people that's not from here, it's kind of like different, because a lot of people wouldn't understand the geographicalness of it. You know what I'm saying? So that's that part of the question. But what it's like growing up here, I'll say times have changed from when I came up and what's going on now. You know, when I was coming up, I was born in 98. But when I was coming up, I caught the butt end of the stick of people being able to go outside, go to parties, whether they was inside or outside, nothing crazy going on. People have, we call them blackout parties, where they was like kind of like juke parties and things of that nature. But growing up in Chicago, for me, it was fun. I was outside. Everybody was outside. And even though I wasn't in the streets, it was a whole lot of money being made. And I saw that. So growing up for me in Chicago, it was fun. You know what I'm saying? It was nothing that's going on now. You know what I'm saying? People still had personal relationships with people before the drill era happened. Everybody was still able to get along with one another. Do what it was that they wanted to do, have fun with one another, be friends. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I experienced the last of what I would consider the golden age of Chicago. Like people had discipline, people had parents that were being parents, people had friends that were being friends. It was much more respect, understanding, and loyalty at that time. But
Hmm.
nowadays, we don't experience that.
Well, you never lied about that. I think you know what? There was definitely a shift just from growing up 90s, 2000s to even today. There was a certain innocence of it because we were younger. So it could have been the same stuff, but we've just all experienced, different things. But you know what I hear about Chicago a lot, not even negative, that y'all have a lot of great food out there.
Oh, look,
And in my
just come
mind,
out here. I ain't gonna just go on here and come out here. People like, I ain't never coming to Chicago. Well, you gonna starve to death because we got the best food. Hey,
now we no hold on. Let me hold on now.
I'm
When
standing
you
on
say the best food, give me something. Give me an example or something. What is Chicago known for besides deep dish pizza? Because that's all I know.
besides deep dish pizza.
That's all I know. I don't know about anybody else, but for me,
We
that's
got
all I hear about.
listen. You know what a hole in the wall stove is?
Of course, yes.
I bet. You can get a good ass nacho. You can get a good ass taco, a good ass quesadilla,
Come on.
some good ass burrito. Um, you can get some cheese sticks out here with some mild sauce and lemon pepper. Uh, can I get a lemon pepper stepper, please? You can get everything. We get guy rolls be good. The motherfucker.
Mm.
Italian beef. Dude, I can't throw these on the floor. But
Please don't.
you can come out here get you an Italian beef. I'm trying to tell you, we got everything from soul food to um pastas. Like we have everything. We are a major food hub. Like we have everything, including the vibes to go with your food. I'm telling you, all you gotta do is come out here. Just hit my phone. Hit my
Road
phone.
trip. Let's gather it up. Road trip, y'all. The food is great indeed, says Chosen Carbon, the poet 999. Also here to support your interview. Love that. All right. So in that section, the last question of that section, do you feel like Chicago shaped your voice or did you have to fight against your environment to find it?
I feel like both. Both. Um, the reason being is because when I was growing up, I was brought up in a Christian family, and when I tell you I was brought up in a Christian family, I am the son of a preacher's kid. My father was the son of a very renowned preacher. I was the son of a very renowned preacher, but my father was also one of the ones who was a 5-star for a specific faction.
Mm-hmm.
And in that, he raised me. My father did the best that he could to raise me to not be in the streets. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people that are watching this right now are familiar with. I want you to grow up better than me. I don't want you to do what I did. I want you to be better than me. Um, and with that, certain things that my dad did led him to not be around. And when he wasn't
Mm-hmm.
around, I started exploring different avenues and doing things, trying to do things for myself. Um, and in doing those things, I started gaining other skills. And so it was like I got a taste of everything that I wasn't supposed to do at the ages where I was like completely oblivious to what could be going on and what was going on. And then when I got old enough and chose to do those things, I realized very quickly. It took less than a year for me to realize the initial like the depth, rather. I would say it took me less than a year to realize the depth of things that I could go through by losing my father in the streets in a space that I was very prominent in. Like my name held weight in that specific area. And so it was like um being able to grow up in the church, and then venturing away from the church and doing what it was that I wanted to do, but still realizing as I kept growing up through life, like everything that my old man wanted me to learn and didn't want me to learn, I still end up learning. So me having the best of both worlds kind of like shaped my voice into what it is now, because I come from a place of conviction, wishful thinking, um, empowerment, and love. You know, like I come from all of that. So everything, yeah, both actually shaped me into who I am.
I know that's right. Y'all, I'm loving the chat. Let's keep the conversations going. Also, if you have a direct question that you want me to ask, make sure you put that in there and just at me. Just be like, at cap, CAP. Okay. So I know that you're talking to me. Okay. You literally have answered some of the next portion already. So I'm trying to rephrase it, just so we can get on other things. That's right. I know it's right. Casey, get your whole face out the camera. You know you cutting up
I got
tonight.
the.
You know what? You gonna mess around. What they used to tell you growing up. Don't be all in the TV like that. Okay. Don't be all in the TV like that. This is going on. Also, once again, to remind y'all, this is episode 2 of the Legacy Lounge. First episode on YT. This one is going to be uploaded as well. So you can always go back and reflect and, get everything. How many taps do I have? Hun, look, I can't even multitask that good. Until the next portion, we all collectively have 1K. Also, Kspazz, toward the end of the interview, if you have a piece already ready to go, we're going to most definitely make sure. It don't have to be anything long. It could be something short. It could be a half a thing. If you feel like freestyling it, you can as well. So I just want to let you know that is a part of it as well. Because I'm razzle dazzling you up, telling them how great you are poet wise now. We can't let you off the hook with that. Okay, so
I got you.
all right. He got me. Y'all continue to tap it up. And while we're waiting for that 500 more to come in, let me once again go back to the merch. Baby, it's always about the business. I'm over here with the very ripe rhythm, y'all. A strawberry and banana scented candle. We have Kspazz. You know him, you love him. Head over to that TikTok shop, okay? Because his candle is Pen and Prelude. And as we call Spazz around here, the catalyst, because he's just a ball of fire, and it ignites us to do other things. So when you hear me say certain things and references, y'all gotta be a part of VVL lingo to understand what it is. Thank you so very much for the 10K. Getting to the next part, y'all. That's exactly how this goes. It's not a thing where every 10 I need something, but we just need to make sure that we're in the algorithm so more people can have the opportunity to love this interview, because baby, it's about to get better. Now, this next category, we are talking about family, generational traumas, and creativity, because we all got a little bit of everything, in our backgrounds that shape us and make us the people we are today. All right, so Kspazz, even when it comes to your family line, and this is, both sides of the fam, and even people who might have not been blood related, but still family. Why, thank you. Lo said her candle is amazing. Love it. When you look at your family line, do you see yourself? Are you paying attention, Kspazz?
I am. I'm listening.
Okay. When you look at your family line, do you see yourself as the only creative one? Or were there other creatives before you whose gifts never had room to breathe?
Uh, I actually don't. So, I have a few cousins, um, on my mother's side of my family that are musical artists, and they got their own production company called J Neil the Great. They create their own beats. They do shows, and they doing what they do.
Mhm.
Simple as that on my mother's side, and then on my father's side, well, actually both sides of my family, we are, like I said, I came up in the church, so we definitely church oriented. Singers, quartet singers, um, definitely all around musicians. I'm a musician myself. I play the drums, um, and they they do more than me, as far as being an artist and a musician, because they have like they older than me, so they've had more time to be around people and do other things than I have had, and they are accredited for it. And I do use them as an inspiration to keep going because even though I'm a spoken word artist, I dibbled and dabbled in music a little bit. So I had fun with it. But I also use them as motivation to just continue with my artistry because I see what it has done for them and I see what it can do for me. Um, so yeah, I don't feel like I'm the only one. Um, Simply because it's all through both sides of my family.
I love that. I love it when you're not the only oddball out. Like it's like the total opposite for me. Everybody else is the brain, and I'm the creative. So they don't understand me, and I'm looking at them like that's great, you're book smart, but that's just not my vibe. Okay, but let me make let me give you a little razzle dazzle, put a little extra dip on your chip. Okay, so indeed, Pappin wants to know, what did first of all, did you have an opportunity to listen to the track that he sent over?
Okay, so I did see your message. I do remember saying that I'm gonna listen to it. I did listen to it. I need to listen to it again and again. But I also told myself to text you and tell you to send about two more options, and the reason being is because I feel like um me as an artist doing that kind of work, I would need more than one um option. Uh, I would need more than one option.
Sounds great. So we'll definitely talk about it behind the scenes, y'all, because
Yeah.
we're working on some things, y'all. I'm telling you, we always doing something behind the scenes. So, we don't get too comfortable because we always got to create bigger and better for you all. Make sure that you are tapping it up continuously, y'all. Now, another question. Was creativity encouraged in your household, ignored, or something you had to protect in private because you don't want to tell nobody?
I say it was something. It wasn't a secret, but it's also not something that I like promoted. Um, my grandma was a little bit up in age when I was around the ages of like 12 and 13, 11, 12 and 13. So she wasn't really going out much. But she did know that I was doing spoken word, and she was definitely proud of me. My father, he was going through his legal battles at the time, and that was at the start of me actually trying to take spoken word serious. Um, my father actually did come and see me perform one time, um, doing spoken word, and I did a piece where I used the part of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. It was the episode about
Mhm.
Will Smith's father coming
Mhm.
in, and he was like, like, at least I ain't had to buy the stupid present. Um, I had used that excerpt and in turn I internalized it and made my own piece using that. Um, Damn, now that I'm thinking about it, it's kind of deep. Now that he gone, why not? But
Mhm.
mm, yeah. When I made my transition from wanting to do spoken word to wanting to do music, um, that initial conversation, he said that he was gonna support whatever it was that I did. And he tried the best that he could.
Mhm.
Um, and yeah, no. So so it was to answer the question, it was never something that I felt like I needed to be I needed to hold a secret. But it didn't have as much support as I would have wanted it to have at that age. Now I don't really give a damn.
Mhm. I get it. I get it. Imagine how crazy and wacky I am now. Scale that down to a young person who just couldn't control it all. It's somewhat controlled now, but then, please, please. I'm
Yeah.
like, listen, this is my bubble. This is my world. I created this. You're not invited. This is what's going on in here. I like it here. So I
But
don't care nothing about it, baby. I'm still here. But yeah, we're moving right over to the next section because since you tapped into the parental unit, we're going into your parental unit. You're a young father because you're not old man boots. You're still young. Okay, you are the baby of the bunch. So
I am. I
you
am.
are the
Ah,
baby of the bunch.
I
Okay,
am.
you are a young father. How did becoming a dad change the way you think about your purpose now?
Oh man. Um, when I had my son, I was in the heart of turmoil. I was in the heart of turmoil. Um, I had just lost my father within under a year of finding out that I was about to have a son, and I'll never forget the moment my son came out and they put him in my arms. Um, I had like a warm embrace over my back, and
Mm.
it kind of like that warm embrace kind of like held my back, and I felt that. You know what I'm saying? Um, Something I'll never forget. But yeah, having a son, it kind of made me like I got a decision to make. And though I didn't initially make I didn't make the best decision in that moment. When my son did like come into this world, it was always something that was in the back of my mind with everything that I did. Even though I still made the same decisions before he came into this earth, it did get to a point where I was like, none of this is actually working out. And before before I'm taken away from being able to make the better decisions, I just make a different decision and leave it alone. And so I did for a while. I did for a while. Um, Ultimately, I did come. I left Chicago at that point. Left Chicago, came back. Um, when I did come back, I got back into the streets. That's when I started catching cases and all type and things of that nature. I had been pew pewed 3 times, two
Mm.
separate occasions. Luckily, I'm still here to be able to tell my story. But having kids, they for some reason we don't always learn. I'm gonna say this as men. For some reason, men don't always learn after the first incident. I didn't learn immediately after I lost my pops. To which I almost turned into the same thing for my son on 2 different occasions. I didn't learn that initially, and getting the job just wasn't in my. It was not in the near future for me. I wasn't gonna do it. I was cool with. Look, I'm making these amount of dollars in this amount of time. I can do what I
Mhm.
want to do. I can take care of what I need to take care of. Who gonna say something to me? Who gonna do something to me?
Mm.
And handle it that way. But sadly, it took me to end up uh, in a situation where I was homeless. I was homeless at one point in time.
Mhm.
Um, to which, at that point, I was living in a truck that I had, and at that point I started chasing certifications to get
Mhm.
myself to make myself more of an asset to myself, but to anywhere else that it was that I chose to be at. To support myself. And then I ended up having my daughter. And when I had my daughter, it was like, bro, I cannot go back to the streets. It's like I can't. Um,
Mhm.
I just can't. Because not only do I have a son, but I also have a baby girl. And my father did instill being a father in me. Circumstances were totally different, but
Mhm.
my father did instill being a father in me because he was my main provider, my main caretaker. Even in his absence, he made sure that I had everything that I needed. So, um, yeah, having becoming a father, it just did it. Even though I took a couple L's in the process of in the process between then and now, it just did it. But ultimately, it was up to me to choose. Like I can't continue doing what it was. I can't continue doing the things that I was doing at that point in my life because I know I would be no longer here quicker than not. Um, so I'm thankful for being able to become a father to both my son and my daughter. When I chose to leave the streets alone, even though it ain't been easy, I'm glad that I made the right decision to do so. So
So indeed, your children did save your life, basically.
yeah,
hmm Y'all
yeah.
continue to tap it up. All of the things. What's going on, Mama Pappin in the building? Shakia in the building. I see y'all. I see y'all. Gotta show love where love is due. Okay, so when you hear the word legacy, aka Legacy Lounge, when you hear the word legacy, what does that actually mean to you as, not just an artist, but a father? I mean, you did talk about it, but let's just dig a little deeper when we talk about legacy, because we're also going to talk about within that same, you know, what do you want to leave behind after everything is said and done?
Uh, legacy, legacy is what I leave to me. Um, and I would hate to leave my children behind with nothing, even though nobody knows what's cut out for us. I'm a firm believer in karma and the energy that we put out, we get back. It could be 10 times fold. Um, but I'm also at the point in my life where it's like I do more good than I have. I do more good now than I have done, even though I may have done things in means of having a good heart that turn out bad. Um, I feel as though um, legacy is leaving what you have had with something worth keeping you in memory for. Um,
Mm-hmm.
example, nobody on this earth is gonna be able to say that I wasn't a good father or a child father because I do the best. I'm active in my children's life. When my son was up, I was there every step of the way. For my daughter, it's a different story because of me and her mother's role. But for my son, for a fact, my son is a daddy's boy. Um, and my son knows who I am, and my son knows for a fact that I love me. And
Mm-hmm.
for me, I want my children to lead with love, no matter what it is that they do, no matter how hurt they are, or what obstacles get in their way, could potentially get in their way. I don't want my children to turn sour, and that is something that I am doing the best that I can to instill in my children. Um, Also, on top of that, to always try, never stop trying, because the moment you stop trying, you give up, and once you give up, you get lost. You give up, you get lost. Even though they babies, that is something that I will always do the best that I can to instill in my children. So, for me, legacy is what you leave. But that starts with that individual. I am the individual, and so me, if I, you have to be the change that you want to see, in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Mm-hmm.
so if I want to leave my children with, um, just always strive to be the best that you can be. That's what I have to lead. I have to lead by that example, and that's the best that I do that in the best ways that I can. So yeah, legacy is what you leave.
Come on. And this is the question that rounds out this portion. If your 18-year-old self could see you right now, would he be proud of you and who you are today? Why and why not?
If the 18-year-old version of myself could see me now, would he be proud? No, I say yes and no, but I think the 18-year-old version of myself will lean to no. Uh, Simply because when I was 18, I was working. I didn't have children, but I also didn't
Mm-hmm.
have the stresses of looking over my shoulder everywhere I went. Every time I step out the door, I never had to look out for what could be potentially coming after me, or anything of that nature. Um, the 18-year old version of myself is probably stressed the hell out, looking at me right now like, nigga, what are we doing? Um, but I feel like the 18-year-old version of myself would also see like, circumstances be circumstancing, and ultimately, uh, everybody has everybody does what it is that they have to do in certain circumstances, which is understandable. Um, but the 18-year old version of myself understood more. Um, Certain things, I did have the power to say no to, and I was way less
Mm.
impulsive. I was way less angry too. Like, y'all wouldn't believe it, my crush calls me a goddamn angry bird. Like, 18-year-old version of myself. Like I said, he'll understand, but he'll also just be disappointed. Because I went down some roads that I feel like I probably shouldn't have went down, and most of it was because of circumstantial situations and just being angry and in my emotions. Um, because doing what I was doing at that time, that changes a person. It definitely changes a person, and those changes ultimately have lifelong impacts.
Mm.
So, um, 18-year-old version of myself is probably disappointed, but he understands. But he also would see I ain't gave up, and I'm continuing to do what it is. I'm continuing to put my best foot forward to change the trajectory of my life, at this point in my life, for the better, and not just for myself, but for my kids and everything else that it is that I said that I want in my life. So, yeah.
Now I'm glad y'all already tapped us up past 15 because that was gonna be the next thing I was about to say. So we good, y'all. The next
Keep tapping that
section.
screen, y'all.
Better let them know. Now,
Let's
also,
get it.
shout out there. I don't know if you're still in the building, but Lady Blue, thank you so very much for the love. I wanted to acknowledge you. Even if you're not here, that's all right, baby. You still got to know. All right. So the next part is the work and the process. How did you currently get into poetry? How did you get your poetry out there in the world? Open mics, platforms, rooms, peer to peer. And what does the grind look like for you?
Uh, so when I got into the streets real heavy, I stopped writing poetry. Um, Actually, my last show of poetry was 2018. Luckily, so not luckily, actually, I was a fifth year graduate, not because I had bad grades, but my freshman year of high school, they made me repeat because I was in we call it a noble network. I had 98 detentions my freshman year, and they was actually holding people back for that. They held me back. I had 98 detentions, so me being a fifth year graduate, ultimately allowed me to have the biggest show of my life, 2,000 people. I beat out my senior class to perform on the Hamilton play stage. Anybody who's seen the Hamilton play, it's
Hmm.
absolutely a movie. I know damn near every damn song. Um, but yeah, I was able to perform on that stage. I went backstage, met the cast and everything of that nature. But soon after I graduated, I started getting to the streets, and I stopped doing poetry. Soon after that, 2019 rolled around, had some major life changes. That was initially when I got in the streets at that time. Stopped writing poetry. Then as time went on, um, I took a couple more L's in the streets. Still didn't write poetry, but January 1st of 2025, um, exiting 2024, I had one of the most stressful endings of a year that I've ever had in my life, and that was shortly after the time that my daughter was born. Mind y'all, my son's birthday is September 4th, and my daughter's birthday is September 6th. My birthday is September 29th. Um,
Hmm.
so the December of 2024, I feel like I was at the peak of my battle of alcohol addiction, and popping pills and smoking, which was a rough time. Uh, Yeah, that was definitely a rough time for me, but I was somewhere within the month of December of 2024 able to gain the strength to start praying again, and reminding myself like, man, you got to get back to something that had you grounded and rooted in who you are or who you were um, before we got here. And poetry, spoken word was that thing. And so I made it my business, even though I was still deep in my like alcohol was over everything. Even though I was still deep into my alcohol addiction at that time, uh, I was reminding myself that 2025 and that entire year last year was gonna be my year of getting back to spoken word and putting my like I'm talking about pedal to the metal all the way. And my crush is now 28. That's her birthday. I didn't know her at that time. Just but keeping my foot on spoken word's neck, and getting back to that in itself. January 1st, 2025, I had my first in-person open mic in over like 5, 6 years. And I was at a place called Pen Flow. And also January 1st, I was getting into going live on this here platform. And I was across the street.
And we're gonna get into that case fast, so don't jump. Because we're gonna get into that. That wasn't the question. Don't jump. Yes.
So yeah, January 1st, 25. I had my first performance since 2018. I had my first performance then that night in person and in the virtual. Since I was able to realize like, oh damn, I could do pen flow in real life every week in real life. I stuck to it. I stuck to it. To be honest with y'all, like it was a couple times where I had to ask my best friend, or I had to ask somebody, man, look, can I borrow $10 until such and such and such and such so that I could go to this open mic? And you know what I'm saying? Thank God those people was able to help me with those little entry fees or whatnot. And then I had found out that I didn't have to pay $10 every week. I could have paid $20 the first week of every month, and I'd have been cool for a month. You know what I'm saying? So I did January, February, March, April. I did that. The whole January I paid $10 a week. February, March I paid $20. April I think I paid $10 one week, and then they allowed me to do the $20 for the rest of that month. Come like May, June, I become part of the Pen Flow team, and I was able to get in free at that point, and so I rolled it out the entire year. Rolled
Come on
it out.
now. Love a freebie.
Now, on my mama. Now, jump back to the beginning of the year. I did the best that I could to keep up with across the street, where you were the first person that I actually had met across the street. And I did the best that I could to be there at least every day. So with my exit of 2024, entrance of 2025, I'm like, man, I could do this in real life. They do this every week. I can do this virtually. And with the virtual side of it, I'm like, well, shit, if I can gain followers, I can get traction. You know what I'm saying? People, anybody that hear me and they like what I got to say, they can ultimately see me here. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I can put my stuff out on this platform into which anybody that likes what I say, they can share it. You know what I'm saying? Repost it, whatever. And that'll bring more traction to me as an artist. And so I just kept that in mind. Across the street, I say across the street got me 70% of my followers on this here app up to date. Across the street got me, well, not up to date. That's a lie. 65% of my followers. Across the street got me about 65% of my followers. But that's all because I dedicated as much time as I could on a daily basis to perform. Whether I did the same pieces every day out that week, or I was able to do one piece and then do another piece. You know what I'm saying? And not only was I across the street at that time with you, Then I end up meeting JV. I end up meeting Pap. Um, I end up getting a notion in my mind like I could go through other people's panels because mind you, I was still getting fresh with TikTok. Like I'm still getting acquainted with TikTok at the time, even though I had a TikTok already. I like that was more like a personal page. And even though this page it's a personal page, but I also still got other parts of artistry and things that I like to do with it. I just used this page to really ground it in that. I went on other people's panels and I was asking people. It's somewhere between 12 and 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm asking people like, yeah, y'all like poetry? And people are like, yeah, go ahead, come up. You know what I'm saying? Like, come up and spit what you got to spit. So thankful to all the panels that allowed me in between 12 o'clock and 4 o'clock in the morning to go up on their platforms and do poetry. That's just what it was. I kept my foot on spoken word and poetry's neck, and I just did that like every day, the most that I could. I did it every day, all day. I would go into people's panels. I think I became part of like 2, maybe 3 families to which we may not all speak now, but certain ones that I see, you know what I'm saying, I'll stop into their room, I'll speak, I'll get them a heart me, you know what I'm saying, daily heart me, things of that nature, let them know like, man, I still got love for you, you know what I'm saying, but yeah, that's what it was for me. I told myself, man, 2025, I'm not going to enter 2025 the same way I'm ending 2024. Like 2024, we gonna leave that shit where it is, and that's what I did, and got back to something that kept me grounded as a youngin, which is spoken word, and that was my plan, that was my layout, and I did that. I stuck to it.
I heard. And you know what? Look, y'all, listen. There's so much lingo we have over here at VVL, aka Verse and Vision Live. So you will hear me say things that if you've been around long enough, you know what they mean. If you don't know, again, put them in the chat. So I am reading the chat at the same time. So the joke is when we say across the street, because a lot of people do not know what that means, and that's fine. Here's the thing. Here's the short version of across the street. We are Verse and Vision Live. Our background is brick. So you will see when we have our little write-ups, little bios, you'll see a brick. My brick here, it's blue because this is cute. But, I'm the gray brick. Kspazz is the purple brick. Pappin is the blue brick. JV is the green brick. Okay, everything has meaning, y'all, because it got to make sense. Brick, you're building it step by step, okay? Now, across the street, is nameless because we didn't start off Verse and Vision Live. We all collectively came together on a different platform, right? But certain things are just deaded, right? And you don't bring light to them. So it's not about shouting anybody out or making people look one direction. We just simply reference it as across the street. Okay. So when we came over here, we were same team, new dream. We wanted to do things our way. So we're not new to TikTok, but we all came in at different times. I came in first, then JV joined, then Pappin joined, and then we had another person that wasn't here long enough, so it don't even matter. But we knew what it was collectively, so I would make references about being the thirds. 1/3, 2/3. I'm always a third of a third. Even though we're 4, we still play with the numbers over here. So over here, when we say across the street, we're talking about what happened before we were Verse and Vision Live. We were just doing this somewhere else. Okay, so that's what that means. And we just don't mention it. So when we say that, that's what we mean. Y'all, so Kspazz, sorry, I keep doing it, but do you feel more alive performing your work or writing in isolation? I can't hear you, hon. You're muted. You're muted.
All right, there we go. I feel much more alive when I'm performing. I come to life when I'm performing. Like the person that y'all see right now. You know what? Over this past week, I was told that I got like somewhere between 3 to 5 different personalities, right? And the performance side of me is I would consider that like my favorite person, my favorite personality. because I leave what everybody would consider this part of life, and I go into whatever it is that I wrote. Reason being, because I don't care about nothing that's going on outside of what I'm putting on that stage. Like I put myself in the moments of whatever it is that I'm writing. Majority of my pieces are real life situations that I have went through, or something that I have seen happen to other people, or something that I've heard about, or it's just pure creativity where I can think about something, which is something that I'm still being able to explore. Like I can think about something and write about it from my own perspective. But when I put it on the stage, nobody knows how true it is. Nobody knows how authentic. Nobody knows how authentic it is to me. That, you know what I'm saying. What it is that I wrote about. So yeah, I feel like when I'm on stage and I'm performing, that's when I come alive.
Mm-hmm. And I tell you, the way that you're answering these questions, it just keeps going into the next section I was already headed into. So that's good. Plus, we already got the tats we need to keep it moving. So, what topics are the easiest for you to write about versus what topics make you uneasy?
The easiest to write about, I'll say parenthood.
Mm-hmm.
Simply because you know what I'm saying, I got two children. My son gonna be 5, my daughter gonna be 3. So I got a nice amount of time in between the both to grasp a little bit more of parenthood for one than the other. Because trust and believe me, parenting a son and parenting a daughter, they are totally different. Dealing with two different baby mamas, they are totally, absolutely fucking different. The hardest, the most difficult rather, for me to get into at one point in time was sensuality. Sensuality. Now that I have a now that I have a crush that ain't just now that I got a crush that has something going for herself and is actually motivating. Um, it actually makes it a lot easier for me to dive into sensuality, and love, likeness, love, blah, 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 those words, um, those words. Yeah. At one point in time, you would never catch me writing anything of those natures. Yeah, bottom of my shoe. You know.
Hey, nothing wrong with it. Listen, nothing wrong with love, being in love, and all of that. And I love that for you. So I'm just over here just clocking that too. Just clocking that too. And that's it. So y'all forgive me because look, I got my look. It's Valentine's month. Hey, got my little hearts going on. Baby, we doing it. Shout out there to the Boonopolis. Listen, I have words and they make sense to me. If you've ever hear me say a Boonopolis, that means your boo thing. Your baby
Doing it,
love, your
doing it,
Loveland, your
doing
baby
it.
taste.
Yeah.
Hey, so shout out to the Boonopolis. We love that for you. Y'all, once again, this is the Legacy Lounge, okay? So this is an interview space. Thank y'all to everybody who has tried to request up and showing up for your boy tonight. But baby, this ain't that.
Learn.
We love you for your
Yeah.
support. But the focus is on Spazz tonight. The man, the myth, the legend, getting into it. So you literally keep you answering the questions before the questions, so that's fine. But is there a topic that is off limits that you're just not gonna do? And you just know you're not. You're not gonna be swayed.
The letter the Cause I don't want to get canceled. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, now you know what? Don't worry about it, sweetheart. No.
Yeah.
Let's be mindful. Let's be mindful.
But like I will say this. You know what I'm saying? I
Mhm.
don't judge people for what they do. You know what I'm saying? Because I do have an open heart and I do have open arms. I may not agree with it.
Mhm.
But yeah, that's something I'm just not gonna. I'm not gonna put my I'm not gonna put
Yeah, I
my
mean,
finger. Mm-mm.
listen, and that's fine, and that is
I'm cool,
perfectly
dog.
fine. I'll continue to tap it up, clap it up, all of the things, as this is such a wonderful space. Again, episode 2 of the Legacy Lounge. Once again, breaking it down for you what this is. It's an interview space. I choose the guests, they then show up, and we get into it. And again, this is not your run of the mill interview. You're not going to get this nowhere else. I'm telling you, I'll be on these TikTok streets looking at these interviews now and be impressed. No shade. But I
Cause
want
look,
to know more about the people that you're interviewing.
I'm gonna
Okay,
say
so
this.
I'm gonna need to put it together.
Who knows? Because I do know this one thing about the LGBTQ community. LGBTQ plus. Got to say this stuff right. One, they make a lot of goddamn money.
Mm-hmm.
Two, they rock with each other. And they ain't gonna miss a
Mm-hmm.
goddamn beat. Three, what if I don't know how many people who rock with me are actually a part of the community? You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to disrespect the people who support me that I don't know are a part of the community, nor do I want to disrespect the people who I know are part of the community. You know what I'm saying? So that's just it's just a subject you're not gonna hear me talking about. So
Mm-hmm.
I
I mean, you don't
throw out
have
a
to.
love.
That's the thing. Like you don't have to. There's so many topics to discuss. You don't have to go that way or this way. You control your
Exactly.
art. You don't let people control your art. So
Exactly.
yeah. Y'all, the next portion of the question, and hey, Chrissy Songbird, love that.
Appreciate it.
You know what happened? Listen, we was just talking about topics of discussion and things that you
That I
you would
won't
write
touch.
about. This is what you would write
And I
about. So
said I
that's
will not be
that's
speaking on the
all.
LGBTQ plus community.
Yes.
Respectfully.
Yes. Yes. So this little section right here is called Future and Goals. Okay. So where do you want to be by the time you're 30? Creatively, personally, and spiritually.
Creatively, I want to be in a space um, where I'm much more creative. Um, because as much as people may believe, like um, creators are on a 24-hour basis being able to be creative, that is not true. It is
Mm.
not true. I don't write every day. I don't think I've written nothing new in the last week. Um, so that is something within the next 5 years. I do want to at least be able to write two complete, two complete pieces. With hella mo in the works. Um, Also, as far as being a creative, I want to make I want to be able to make more money off of going to shows, doing open
Mm-hmm.
mics, because I'm always told you need to be getting paid for what it is that you do. That's cool. That's cool. So, those are two goals as far as being a creative. Personally, I do have a three to okay. Initially, I said 5, but to be real with
Mm-hmm.
myself, I say a 3 to 5 year plan. Um, I will be starting school soon. I'm chasing,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm chasing certifications, stackable credentials as well. I'm
Absolutely.
chasing them.
Absolutely.
So within the next 5 years, I want to have at least 2 credentials under my belt. Increase my value to myself and to anything it is that I do in real life. You said creative, personal, and what else?
Spiritually.
Spiritually. Um, my faith is strong.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it could be stronger. But as far as spiritually, I think that's um, a forever learning journey. You know what I'm saying? Because
Of course.
we go through life and different things pop up. Like I said earlier, everything is circumstantial. So it's like nothing will ever be a direct duplicate of a previous situation. You know what I'm saying? Because the same situation might happen, but the circumstances regarding the people that are in in the situation change. So spiritually, I want to be able to have better discernment for
Mm-hmm.
myself and anybody that's around me. Um, and just build my faith in that everything will eventually be okay, and everybody in the situation walks away from whatever it is unscathed. Because I can worry about myself all goddamn day, and I know how to get out of something unscathed, but that's in a sense selfish.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, spiritually, I want to be able to have the much better discernment than I already have spiritually. So yeah,
Yeah, because there's always something working against. So when that
yeah,
discernment is up par, you'll be able to catch it before it can do any damage to you. So
yeah.
again, as I'm like reshaping these questions, because you're already answering some before time, and I love that about you. We're jumping right to the social media structure and community. Make sure that y'all are tapping up the screen. Thank you so much. Continue to share this out because we're not quite done yet, but we are almost to the end. Shout out there to K Soul. I see you. I see you. So we already talked about a little bit of social media as you discussed how that played an impact. So you already took care of that one. But in terms of TikTok, and again, where we met across the street, um, could you just elaborate a little more on joining Versed and Vision Live? What does that look like for you internally? You know, any hesitations, excitement, pressures, purpose? But before you do that, I'm gonna let you ponder. I will discuss the Kspazz
Yeah, let
movement
them
over
know.
at Versed and Vision Live. So from the inception of us just going online, this platform here, if you don't know, is a safe space for creatives. So we always pressed encouragement and growth and pouring into people. We did not want to be like other platforms, though popular because they operating by tearing down folks or just making them feel like they're just not good enough or they should quit because they didn't think that they had potential. So we set out to not be that. And yes, it did stagger the growth because I'm telling you, I'll tell people all the time, man, if I really come out my bag, then the views will be there, the viral moments will be there. But I said, nope, I don't want to feed into the negativity and make people feel bad about their gifts and talents when it's been done to me. So I don't want to be that. I want to be the person that I want it for myself in my creative journey. So that's why we pour into people over here and we encourage the shenanigans, whatever they are. So upon meeting Kspazz across the street, y'all know what that is now. He came through and I was like, oh, that's raw. Y'all like that. Because all of our poets still, none of them are the same. There's no two poets that have ever been on a platform that are the same. But Kspazz stood out. And I'd be like, yo, I said to the homies, because at the time it was just me and JV. And I was like, yo, this kid, if you see him, I didn't know how old you was, but you was his kid to me. So I was like, this kid, if you see him, this is his name. He comes in, just let him up. Just let him up. You know, he's going to do his thing. And he was talking about a bus driver, was the first poem. And he just went right in. I was like, I would have hated to be the bus driver the way you smooth cursed them out, but I get it. And it was raw and it was gripping. And then in my mind, I've never been to Chicago, but he was like, I'm from Chicago. I was like, I get it, right? Because it is what it is, of course, of the judgment of Chicago. It is. I'm letting you know that's the type of time I was on. But regardless of that, every time you showed up, it was raw, it was gripping. And I would always be like, hey, y'all, listen, follow this man, whatever he doing, whatever it is, get into it because I see great things in his future. So when we then added Pappin and the mystery person, it would be like, yo, if you see this guy, just go ahead and let him up because he gonna give it to you. And hopefully more poets show up because we all have our like picks. You know, when people do like the football picks or whatever, baseball picks, like we all had our picks. I'm like, look, this is my three. If we're talking poetry, this is my three. This is my for rappers. This is my and you were always in the three for everybody who was involved. Even for the man with the plan over there, you were in the three. So
Yeah.
it just, you know, so getting into joining Verse and Vision Live again, what does that look like for you internally? What the hesitations may be? Excitement, pressure, purpose. What give me something.
I ain't gonna lie. She didn't tell y'all that across the street, eventually, like halfway through last year, I started asking to be a part of Across the Street's team. You know what I'm saying? As a host. And I wanted to be a part of the team because the vision that they had over across the street. It's still the same over here. The vision was to be a hub for up and coming artists, artists who are already established. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to be somebody that people would be like, "Oh damn, I see him live. Let's go ahead and like let's do it over here." You know what I'm saying? Because it was such a supportive environment. And every time I came on the platform, I did receive love. And not only did I receive love, I seen them give everybody else that same kind of love. And I don't know who all they top threes were. You know what I'm saying? So for me, that just not that, you know what I'm saying? Like, threes, I'm like, oh shit, I was in the threes, but nobody ever showed any kind of favoritism. And that was major to me. But it was something that I'm like, man, I also want to get into hosting because I feel like I got a certain energy about myself that could attract people. Like, I'm a fun person. I do the best that I can be to be fun until I got to live my name. Anyway, so when the opportunity was finally brought to me to be on the same team as Cap, JV, and Pap, I was like elated. Even though we went across the street, you know what I'm saying, we was over here at VVL, it still felt the same. I'm like, bro, I'm familiar with them. Like, I love them, and they love me, so it felt like family. Did I feel any pressure? Maybe just a little bit, because even though I was at one point in time hosting my own lives, which, you know what I'm saying, Spazz House shut down right now. Ain't nobody loving on Spazz House the way they was. Even though it was a little bit of pressure, I didn't shy away from it. I'm not scared. But my favorite part about it, anything that I think of that I, you know what I'm saying, could bring as a show, they are accepting of it. You know what I'm saying? Cap, JV, Pap, they are all accepting of anything that I can think of to bring to the platform. The breakdown, what else? Spazz on site. Like, Spazz on site is really a pop-up show. That's why it's Spazz on site. Cause I might pop up Monday and Tuesday, you might not see me till Friday, Saturday, maybe even Sunday. You know what I'm saying? So Spazz on site, like every day, like they are acceptive of it. As a collective. And it's all love. Like, when we behind the scenes, when we have meetings, we have fun. You know, it's like we handle business, but we have fun at the same time. And so that also has always kept me excited in being a part of what Cap, JV, and Pap had always had going on. Even though I may not know what was going on across the street in depth, but you know what I'm saying, at the service, like, so we have fun. So yeah, I'm glad. I was like super goddamn elated. I'll never forget it. I was on my way to Maxwell's when I got this call. If y'all ain't from Chicago, so y'all don't know what Maxwell's is. Y'all come out to Chicago, y'all can get y'all some Maxwell's.
But he was indeed outside, because I was like, yo, we got a Zoom going on if you're available. We was trying to plug in with everybody. And I ain't gonna hold you. Like, here's the thing, to just piggyback off what you're saying. Once again, y'all, welcome. First Division Live. This is the Legacy Lounge. We were interviewing poet and everything great in life that he ever wants to be, Spazz. The fellas already know, because we all have, you know, personalities, different type, where, you know, one of us might be easygoing, the other one, you know, might be, you know, nicer, where I make the joke all the time, I'm feeling 2026, I don't care nothing about it. Right? So very much I know that, and I don't make excuses for it, but I let it be known, I might not be the easiest person to work with, because I'm business all the time. I don't play. It's business. It is so business with me. So I knew that even with talking with the fellas about potentially even bringing on another person, we weren't going to. And we had been saying that from the inception of what this is. I was like, we need to solidify what this is. If we were to ever bring somebody, it has to make sense. Period. Because the way our personalities are set up, you might not be able to work with everybody. And I'll be the first one to tell you, Pappin, love him to pieces, Reese's Pieces. JV, love him to Reese's Pieces. It's me. If you can work with me, You can work with me, you're good, because I don't play that. You better know that. You can ask anybody who know me. I don't. So when I say I'm about the business, I am about helping grow a platform, keeping it a creative, fun space, getting in your ass if need be, because I can't deal with basic. Cannot deal with people who are not in their potential, moving toward a thing. It don't make sense. If when you grow up and have a mature mindset, you know you cannot sit around people who just are not motivated, because you will fall into that trap of being stagnant, stuck, and now you're 50 and you're trying to figure it out. We ain't got time. And that's a quotable. I don't have time. So when I say to remove everything that don't make sense to the plan, I don't want to hear it. So for me, even having these conversations with them behind the scenes, I was like, it makes sense, but does it fit? We are moving this way. We know he's talented, he's phenomenal in all of the things, but you really have to sit here and get to know each of us so you can work with each of us and still have a cohesive, fun time. And it's always been a thing where you come over here with your ideas. We encourage people for ideas. We want you to be able to stand alone as well as come together collectively. So Kspazz was not wrong when he said we support all of the things, because we do. So, and he knows, like, and it's funny, but I'll be the first one to tell you, if it ain't about the business, I don't want to hear it. If it's not about cultivating a safe space and building this up to the potential that it's past what we're doing now, do not bring it to my front door, because I'm going to give you a quick resolution. You might not like it, but that is one thing about me. I don't play with it. But because of that, we have birthed so many fun, things here. A lot of people who started off with us, it was their first ever TikTok live. A lot of people have went on to create shows and spaces and platforms just based off of the love they received here. So I can truly say that I feel like we do make an impact in people's lives, and it's not in vain. So we see y'all. We encourage y'all to always, be your best. And when we know a little bit of what you got going on, we always gonna press you about it. So write those books, make those appearances, make that demo, do your headshots, do what you got to do, because we are supporting you 100,000,000%. But yeah, Kspazz, that's the business on that one. And again, when we dropped that pause, when we dropped that promo, we were like, somebody coming, they didn't know who it was. Man, they was in the inbox. Hell, who is that? It's a surprise. Stay tuned. When we dropped it, they was like, well, no, it makes sense. So it's almost like nobody was shocked, but still shocked at the same time. I'm like, y'all don't know strategy. So, and no, we could not bring you into when you wanted to come, right? Because you just got to feel a person out, because a lot of people want to go, and we're like, no, they ain't gonna work, and it ain't gonna work. So it get deaded from the very top, and with no second thought. But you were always in the equation, but we just didn't know where and at what time. But it happened when it needed to. So that's why it was such a rollout for you versus a rollout for just the introduction of VVL. We didn't have a rollout. We just popped up. But we did the official rollout. It was like, now watch this. So, it's a vibe. So let me look at this next section, collaborations and inspiration. And y'all, as we're really, truly rounding this out. But again, you've answered really all of this stuff. So I'm kind of moving the questions around a little bit. Because I know that you're looking for certifications. Again, that was a part of what do you want to do next? You already said that. Do you ever think about possibly writing a book about your experiences? Not just poetry side, but like your life. You're on mute.
I was texting my lady, y'all. She down in the comments. No.
That too.
I ain't. I don't think I'm ever gonna write a book about my life. No, straightforward.
Okay.
Nah.
Well, never say never. You just never know. Watch, we're gonna play this back. Remember when you said on episode 2 of Legacy Lounge you wasn't going to? Now look at your book, best-selling author, doing all of the interviews and the tours. Y'all, when I speak about people's future, it be like that. I don't do the shit with the coulda, never. I be like, look, when you write that book and it hits that top 10 and literary works, buy a pick in action, invite me so I can come to the red carpet with Chris Brown. I'm just saying, I gotta throw him in the equation too. But Kspazz, we need you to be that one, okay? So you can help me meet my man. You said if I could convince him, it would be exactly like, come on, Lo. Shout out to Lo, like love her.
I'm banning Chris Brown from whatever book release. How about that?
tell, the lies you tell. Lastly, we're talking about influence. Who is your favorite poet? If you even have one, you may not, or a lyricist if it's not a poet. And what is it about their work that directly speaks to you?
Uh, I'm gonna say that hopefully I can make this quick. When I first started getting into spoken word, I started my very first poem that people liked. I wrote it in sixth grade. It was a simple I am piece. The only reason why I know people liked it, I was the only person in my class at that time. Mind y'all, I don't be able to remember nothing for real. But I was asked to do this one piece twice. That's what piqued my interest in it. I was asked to do it twice. Um, that was sixth grade. My sister was in a poetry, a spoken word program at a place called Kelly Hall YMCA. And supposedly, my sister couldn't go if I couldn't go. Even though
Mm,
me and my sister weren't living together, my sister took me 2 or 3 times, and that's why I met my sensei, Keith M. Kelly. He has books. He was a part of a group called the Funky Wordsmiths. He's been a part of McDonald's commercials. Um, and like he's a name to reckon with. Yes, I said banning Chris Brown. Yes, we're banning Breezy. See that's why I'm banning Breezy right there, because my crush likes Breezy. It's not, it ain't got nothing to do with you,
oh,
Cal. Yeah, I'm jealous. Jelly, knees, weak. So yeah, my sensei, that's why I met him. And I actually got into the program half a year early. I got in the program the summer of eighth grade, and I wasn't supposed to get into that program until high school. Um, I won a award called the Sleeping Giant. Sleeping Giant was a person that's sleeping on their potential.
mm,
I won that 3 times consecutive. Um, After that, uh, I started like watching Def Jam, poetry, and
mm.
stuff like that. So the first spoken word artist that spoke to me as an artist, his name is Black Ice. Not the one from Chicago. No disrespect. Just not the one from Chicago. Black Ice from Philly. He has a piece titled "Bigger Than Mine." At one point in time, I had that whole piece memorized as if I wrote it. And that particular piece, and like him as an artist, had and still has the biggest impact on me and my artistry than anybody that I can think of. Now, my sensei, uh, he's the reason why I've been able to hone all of my skills and get me to where I am as like an individual artist. But I would say the artist that has the most influence on me, that is Black Ice from Philly. Now that's not to discredit K Love from Chicago. She's an amazing Chicago artist. Stephen Willis, another amazing Chicago artist. Um, Double G, another amazing Chicago artist. Like Chicago is a hub. Like whatever y'all hear about music is cool, but Chicago is one of the greatest poetry hubs known in the poetry world. So yeah, I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna land that plane right there. Black Ice from Philly.
Mhm.
Although he's not my biggest favorite, he does have the biggest impact on me and my artistry. And I would love
I
to
love that.
goddamn grace the stage with him. Swear to
Mm. Put it out there. Look, words have power. Like speak into
God.
that. I'm telling you, manifestation is a real thing, y'all. Things coming to fruition. You speak it. Don't, the more positive you speak, man. Listen, that's what you want. It can be done. And then we could look back at them like, remember you said on episode 2 of the Legacy Lounge, that blah blah whatever. Now look at you. Look at you. So now this ends the portion of the interview style questions. We have 4 things left, but this is more of it's a game, but it's really not a game. It is questions, but it's different. This is this or that. You got to pick this or that. We don't need the explanation behind why you picked it. I'm just asking this or that. Okay. Now, would you listen to me, Kelly? Would you rather be a starving artist and stay true to who you are, but people may never know you? Or would you rather be catapulted into success where you might have to change a portion of yourself to be accepted, but you
Starving artist.
succeed?
Starving
You ain't
artist.
let me finish. You ain't let me
Starving
finish.
artist. I don't give a damn. I'm a starving artist because I'm never gonna change nothing about myself that satisfy nobody.
And we know that about him, but here we are. All right, the next one. What's more important? Being a good person or being a person who does whatever they need to do to get to the top?
Being a good person. I ain't slamming nobody out to get to the top.
You heard what he said now. Next question. Would you rather be respected quietly or celebrated loudly?
Respect me quietly, cause you don't know what strings I can pull. Don't feel like leave me alone.
I love it. I love it. And the last one, before we ask you to give us a piece, okay? Would you rather leave behind a small body of honest work or a large body of work that isn't fully you?
Honest. Now, because when you see a large body of work that isn't fully you, that to me, I could see, as far as being an artist, like I said earlier, like I can put myself in certain like aspects of life that I may not have personally experienced and still write about them due to being a creative. You get what I'm saying? Now if it was and I hate to say this, now if you saying it ain't fully me and I got somebody else, I got ghostwriters or I'm AI, hell no, I ain't putting no AI on my you know what I'm saying? Like nah, I ain't doing that. But since none of that was part of the question, I'm gonna put out a small body of work this is just all me. Authenticity is authenticity, and I don't feel like anything can beat that.
And that's what makes you great in your purpose. And there's so much more, that's going to be in your future. It's crazy. Like sometimes you can just know a person is destined for greatness, whether they realize the level or not. And that's just something that we've always spoke about behind the scenes concerning you and your art. That's just what it is. I was like, I don't think he realizes the potential that he just has it. Like there's if it's a it, he got it. So y'all, that literally rounds out the Legacy Lounge with Kspazz. Listen, you're gonna have to give the people something because we done spoke about the poetry, the grind, the love, the everything. Give them the razzle and the dazzle. Give it to them. I don't care which one you do, but you're gonna have to give them do something. All right, let's get it.
So, like I told y'all earlier, I was never really the sensual poet. The last piece that I wrote, it is sensual. It's also to a song by Neo. Anybody that knows Neo, y'all know. He was nice. He was nice. I was put on by my crush. A song that he got called Mirrors. I had never heard it before. What you know about it?
Nothing. Nothing.
Tripwire. Yeah. So yeah, I wrote to that. I actually just rounded this piece off. This past Sunday. Yeah, I rounded this piece off this past Sunday. When I say rounded this piece off, I mean like I actually feel like it's complete now the way I ended it. Excuse me. And I used it in a battle against somebody who did another sensual piece. I won by 10 points. I had a 95. That person had 85. So yeah, I'm gonna give y'all that. Everybody knows I'm not a singer. I'm a spoken word artist, so we not tolerating no spaz bash. So if I hear anybody going around this app talking about, I'm getting on your back. Okay?
No, he will. You've been warned.
Tell me if y'all hear this one if it's too loud.
Okay, let's hear it. You good?
No, that was the wrong speaker. That's the problem. I know y'all heard it because the headphones right there, but that's not what I was trying to play.
Oh, that was coming out the headphone. Okay.
Yeah, that was the headphones. Sounds terrible.
Well, y'all continue to tap it up, clap it up. Thank you so much for the 30K. I think he's muted, but that's fine. Make sure you check out our TikTok shop, y'all. We do have merch. Kspazz's candle is in there right now. Get on it, Pen and Prelude. It is an Aventus Creed dupe. You're going to love it.
Pen and Prelude, man. Smells absolutely fantabulous.
Come on, use my words. And this is from a person who don't even rock with candles like that, but he loves it.
So
look. Get yours today. Get yours today.
If it ain't a black cherry scented candle, I ain't really gonna be too much. You know what I'm saying? I smell it, but I ain't gonna be the one to buy it or flame it up in my crib. But that Pen and Prelude,
come on, some respect on it. Love that. Right, listen, I take now. Make sure. All right.
Is this too loud? Yeah, I'm a Alright. Give me like 5 seconds. I gotta get to it, y'all. I gotta get to it.
Alright, because we want to make sure we get everything you about to say. I might have to get off the camera because you know how I start blushing like, hey, he's off the screen. Me and my family.
Alright, so look. Everybody! There we go. When I kiss her lips, they kiss me back. I mean, shit, why not? Don't people love to be loved on? Shit, I consider getting my grub on. I kiss her cheeks the same way grandma would me before Sunday's dinner. And then I feast on her body, yet consume her soul. Getting full in grandma's den till she give in. Giving me the green light to just keep on kissing. And each kiss of mine be bliss. I'm glad I'm not ignorant. I know each touch point and which point to touch and when. She said my hands got her moving like it's ants in her pants. My fingers, they crawl her body while she convulsing and she can't help but she keep running. These hands, they give her body a tingling sensation. They say sex before marriage is a sin. Well, shit. I still sensationally love the sensation. These kisses turn tongue sliding in each direction with no specific direction. I just directed to hold my hand and intertwine fingers and lock them. Look me in my eyes, love. My eyes be open. I get director's cut watching the scene. And she can't help it, but she keep trying to see, but she can't. I'm in front and behind the scene. The way I kiss be long time like roll credits. And in my mind, our major film is now embedded. Cause it's full of action, passion, love, long lasting. Never forgetting to make sure that love is a #1 factor, cause I'm nasty. But I ain't nasty enough to kiss lips like this with anybody. See, my kissing tongue be delicate and sincere, wholehearted innocence, a crime of passion, with the only casualty being her body going on. The rapture of pleasure makes her come. Black buckets of that black girl magic water that holifies my spirit, shifts the energy in this room. Her movement magical, her gyrate pinnacle to my tongue's cues, and she sprays all over my face like Marco territory, love. I love drinking your fountain from my youth. You love the tree rooted for me and you a life. We love one another's core, not willing to let anything crack the depths, cause soulfully we are bonded, no bending. This moment been coveted, rooted deep, spiritually, deeper than the black lotus roots, stronger than the timbers of a black lotus tree, and her screams don't be of agony. They be soulful cries to God, please, saying yes, like Shekinah never knew glory. The Savior in this moment was safe in the church, whilst me, my tongue, and her body congregate at the base of her pelvis. When I kiss her lips, they kiss me back. Cause why not? I know she love to be loved on. I just consider getting my grub on. Kissing her upper and lower lips. Getting full off the delicacy between her hips. Like Thanksgiving came in when we entered the room. Thank you. See, I lied. I wasn't really done. I found the end of the piece. Kissing her upper and lower lips. Getting full off the delicacy between her hips. Like Thanksgiving came in when we entered this room. Into a space where love already beat us there. Energies cooked to perfection like grandma's dinner table for Thanksgiving. And it's thanks that I'm giving for God to bless a moment with his power, to allow my love to come down and my kisses be bliss, not ignorant, giving me the knowledge to know each tingling touch point, which point to touch, and when. There we go. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Thank you. I'm mad. I'm mad. I'm mad. I'm mad. I'm mad. But yeah, that's it. That's dope, man.
And I love that for you. Y'all heard it. Listen. Y'all listen. Follow this man. Whatever he do, get into it. Whenever he go live, whenever he feel like going live on his page, make sure you there. And damn sure show it when he's here, because I'm telling you, he could be anywhere else in the world, but he chooses to be here helping us build the foundation because he is a part of said foundation here at Verse and Vision Live. Not just a space to diddy daddle, but to really encourage people and, you know, speak life into them and their situations. Everybody got life and honey. Nobody has the perfect situation nowhere. But when we collectively get together and just be our authentic creative selves, it is such a vibe. Shout out to the TLK Poetry, baby. You know you need to come back through.
Talk, you, come on, man.
So definitely a vibe. So once again, y'all, Spazz, the host of SOS, Spazz on Site, the host of The Breakdown. We have a full episode on the YT. Make sure you just click our link tree to go to that. And this will be uploaded shortly, this whole interview from the Legacy Lounge. Also, Soliloquy and Syllables. That is a poetry slam. That is a curated spot. Come through, but be about your business. And also, Loop and Language, that is coming very, very soon. That is also like The Breakdown to a degree, but we're really going to get into the etymology of words and other things that make sense. So when I say Verse and Vision Live is always going to have some type of show to pull you in, you can never say Verse and Vision Live don't have nothing I want, then you know what? You ain't stay here long enough, because I've already introduced more shows. So I have a creative kickback. That's literally what it's called. Baby, we just playing songs in there. What you want to hear? I got you. You know, we got Pap versus Cap. That is a real discussion debate between me and Pappin. So we gonna bicker, and that is a fact. We're gonna be on two opposite sides of whatever said topic is. Calm down, Kspazz. We also have, you know, scavenger hunts coming, games coming. We have, when we hit the 3K, y'all be getting that Battle Royale out the way. Battle Royale is an incentivized show, means you can get coin in real time. Not the TikTok type, but the type that folds. Okay. So, and it's all holds, no holds bar. We're going to let y'all cut up in the chat and everything. So do not come and participate in Battle Royale if you're sensitive, because I'm telling you now, we are very heavily like censoring what people say on a regular day, but we're not doing that for Battle Royale, because you're going to have to take it. So they might think you suck. They might think you great, but whatever it is, we're going to let them say it. So that being said, we have other incentivized shows coming. Again, we have incentives coming where we help people, you know, in community, period. You don't have to be in Maryland or Chicago or Jersey or Connecticut. Like, we do things over here. We are who we say we are over here. Again, we have the candle merge. Kspazz will be getting the journals and the shot glasses in his bundle. So there are a lot of things that we're doing over here. We're not just people talking and doing all that blah, blah, blah. Okay. We are actually out here actively trying to help people change their lives, and whatever that looks like for them. So Kspazz, that's it. You got anything else you want to say to the people before I give my closing monologue?
Yeah. Y'all go ahead and get y'all a notebook, get y'all a candle. God damn it. And continue to rock with VVL. Straight like that. I ain't gonna lie. That's it.
Thank you so very much, Kspazz, for being a part of my second episode of the Legacy Lounge. Y'all, as I said, I really am excited about this particular show because this really puts me into my regular vibe. If you don't know about me, when I get my interview from the fellas, because I'm going to let them all be in here. It's going to be 4 boxes, and they all going to go in and ask me different things. And I don't know what they're going to ask. I'm going to do my best to answer the questions. But if you don't know, I've done this and do this. So this is comfortable. This is easy. Light work. What? Nope. Whatever that is, talk to me behind the scenes, Kspazz, because you cutting up too much for me, and we're not doing that. So don't worry about it, sweetheart. Don't worry about it. But yeah, so y'all, once again, I'm your girl Cap. Make sure you follow us on all the pages. First and Vision Live, Cap_karaoke, and the Candelicioso brand. Make sure that you follow Spazz. Go ahead. There's a plus sign right by his name. You want to follow him, as you should. Make sure you do that. Y'all, once again, this is the Legacy Lounge. Again, welcome. Even though we're at the end, you're still welcome. Where conversation meets intention. This is more than an interview. This is a curated experience built around real people, real journeys, and real moments. Here, we do not ask the same questions that you've heard 100 times. We ask the questions that matter. The ones that make you pause, reflect, and sometimes even rediscover yourself. Every episode is designated to be personal, meaningful, and one of a kind. Because no 2 stories are the same. Never, ever. So whether you're here to be inspired, encouraged, or simply reminded that your story matters, you are always welcome to the Legacy Lounge. And that's it, y'all. Thank you so very much. 32.3K likes. This episode, again, will be uploaded to the YT, but just give it a little bit since it is a longer episode. We will be cutting clips from here and putting it as regular content. And that's just what it is, y'all. Thank you so very much for your time and for your talent, your efforts, and for saying yes to Verse and Vision Live and to this interview. So, Kspazz, as I always say, shout out there to all the mods who stopped through, did their thing, stayed for a while, a little bit. Don't matter. Your support means everything. Shout out there to the bro Pappin for stopping in. And even if I don't name y'all directly, I see y'all. Thank you so very much. Again, this is episode 2 featuring Spazz of Verse and Vision Live and busting the stratosphere open because we're not going to put limitations on what he can do. So thank you so very much, y'all. And as I always say, in the meantime, and in between time, later.